Naimbag nga malemtay amin kakabsat na danon manen iti segment tayo dito kabsat channel iso iti trabaho ken serbisyo. Kaya dito tangal daw nagasat tayo ta adda dito isirong tayo iti provincial director iti may isang importante a national government agency can closely directly working with the office of Congressman D.V. Saveliano. Doon ang igyo iti One Town, One Product, iti Otop Next Generation, Buy Local or Ilocos-made products, Partuat ken Patanor, Linawas Agenda, dagito iti local programs, iti Department of Trade and Industry. Kaya't padamagan na tayo ito, ni Apo Provincial Director Ms. Grace Rapanot La Pastora, iti Provincial Office, iti DTI, iti dumapay ng programa, proyekto, ken activities. Kablawan na ka, Ms. Grace, ma'am. Thank you for coming here sa ating Kapsa channel.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Marjo. I'm very honored to be here in the Kapsa channel program, of course, of our Honorable Congressman D.V. Saveliano. And to all of your viewers, naimbag aldaw, naimbag na malem kada kay amin. I'm very, very happy to be here.
Oh, thank you very much, Ms. Grace. During the early months, iti programa tayo ng trabaho ken serbisyo, nakalista na po iti DTI. Yung nagligat mi nga align ti schedule da because this is one of the busiest agencies, especially so, iti narugyanan iti quarantine, iti probinsya tayong Ilocos Sur, ken iti interamente nga Pilipinas. Tatan-amuin tayo ken ni Miss Grace, noon niya nagiti current nga activities, projects and programs, iti Department of Trade and Industry, iti probinsya tayo nga Ilocos Sur. Miss Grace?
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Marjo. I really don't know where to start.
Yes.
You know, our hands are full. Nakadado ti trabaho nga talaga ti Department of Trade and Industry. But I would just like to start that when you say DTI, it's about trabaho, it's about negosyo, it's about kabuhayan, and it's about consumers. So basically, we assist the business and the consumers. So we have to reach that point wherein there is a balance between the interests of the consumers and the business.
Oh, that's great.
So that's actually the mandate of the DTI. The development of business and of course for the protection of the welfare of the consumers.
Okay.
So kung minsan hindi mo alam kung saan ka lulugar because you know you have to really promote the business while at the same time not sacrificing the welfare of the consumer. So there's a point wherein you really have to see the balance, check the balance. But it's very clear in the Constitution that when there is a gray area, it's always the general welfare of the public which has to prevail.
Exactly. So that's a very mandate and role of this very important NGA.
Okay. So if I may start, I will start with the side of the consumer, which is of the lesser complexity.
Okay.
Because when you say consumer, it's already in the form of package already because the Consumer Welfare Protection Program of the government is regulatory based. Okay. So which means to say that everything is in a law.
Yes.
We are
provided for
by laws, by different laws. So let me just start that when you open a business and if you are a sole proprietorship, you have to come to the DTI and have your trade name registered. So that is the basic regulation. You have to register your trade name, your business name with the DTI. So like for example, my name is Grace La Pastora and I want to start a grocery store which I solely own and then I want to use Grace Grocery Store. I cannot use that name unless I have the permission from the Department of Trade and Industry. Okay. So you have to have that Grace grocery business name registered with us because by law there should not be any similarities of trade names or business names being used so as to protect. Number one is to protect your own business from unscrupulous businesses or whatever you may call it, who will be deliberately destroying the image
Or
of your
affecting
business.
the image
Yeah, affecting
of
the
your
image of your business. And the second is that for the protection also of the consumers, so that when there is something irregular, they know they will track until they will reach that business carrying that particular trade name.
Okay, that business name is carried on for years and years until i-renew every year? Is that so?
Yes. The business name registration with the DTI is valid for 5 years, and then
5
afterward, it's renewable.
After 5 years?
After 5 years, and it's only 230 pesos.
Registration fee?
Yeah, registration fee, but I have to make it clear that if the territorial scope of your business name coverage is barangay, that's 230 pesos.
Okay.
But if, which means to say that if you want to establish, put up a business, even if it runs to more than 1, 2, 3, 4, as long as it's located within the barangay, that's good for one registration.
Okay.
But if it's a municipal geographical scope, that's 530. If it's regional, meaning to say anywhere in the region, you put up your business.
May branches
May branches ka, you only have one registration valid in all of the business locations. That's 1,030 pesos. And then if it's nationwide, that's 2,030.
Basing mo lang tibayadan na niya, Grace.
So, parang i-divide mo siya per year. Kasi that's good for 5 years. So, it's just minimal.
Yes.
So, hindi dapat matakot ang isang potential businessman regarding sa mga babayaran sa DTI sa trade name. So, yun yung basic na gagawin ng isang negosyante who would want to open a business.
Okay.
So, that concerns us. Number 2, if you are into a repair service, repair service ng iyong sasakyan, motor vehicle, appliances, gadgets, and everything that has something to do with a life, limb, and property, pagka ginamit mo yung gamit na yon, you have to accredit with us also. Yeah. So, that is a guarantee or assurance that when I go to a particular service repair shop, that if it has the accreditation of the DTI, you are safe because it has conformed to the minimum requirements in putting up a repair shop. So, yung bang tauhan mo ay meron siyang NC accreditation or kahit isa lang doon.
NC means National Certificate.
National competency.
Competency.
Being offered or given by TESDA.
Right.
And then, we have the minimum tools that you need.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Pangarigan.
Meron kasi kami and it's provided for in the law.
Okay.
And then, ano bang itsura ng repair shop mo? And then, one important thing is that, do you have a comprehensive insurance?
Also.
Kasi, ano bang gamit nun? Kasi if nagpa-repair ka, syempre iwanan mo doon.
Yes.
Tapos, meron mga calamities, may fire, biglang nasunog, or what, wala na yung...
So in other words, mapapalitan.
It's covered.
Okay, covered ng insurance.
Yeah, covered ng insurance. So, pangalawa yan.
Wow.
Marami pa. Then, of course, we have also the product standards. Right. So, there are mandatory products in the Philippines which we are consume or which we use, which we consume, which they are considered mandatory because they have to be in conformance with international quality standards.
You mean the ISO? No, not necessarily.
No, not necessarily the ISO. Like, for example, steel bars.
Okay.
It's a mandatory product. Why? Because before it comes out of the market, the DTI has to be sure ensure na yung steel bar na yan ay nakakomply siya sa lahat na requirements. ng isang mandatory product. Starting from the logo.
Mm-hmm.
So even the logo of a particular manufacturer of a mandatory product should
Be approved by DTI.
registered siya. Registered siya. Yun
Registered.
yung, kasi kung yung steel bar na yan, sabi niya manufactured by ABC company na ganito yung logo. Pag nasa market yan, nasa retail, pag sinabi mong ABC, nakalagay doon yung logo, it has to be kung ano yung naka-register.
Okay.
So, as simple as the logo, what is the weight, what is the...
May mga specifications.
Exactly,
Yes.
specifications. Ganun. and steel bars is just one of the mandatory.
Timber. Okay.
We also have cement.
Yes.
And
cement.
electrical.
Hollow blocks.
Yeah,
Electrical,
electrical.
lalo na.
So, yun na lang muna.
Yeah,
Marami
okay.
pa, we have long list.
Okay, good.
So, that's product standards.
Yes.
And then we also have, I would like to add the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
It's, how do you define, ayan, I just want to reiterate, how do you define a product na mandatory that pagka ginamit mo siya ay it has an effect on the life, limb, and property. Pag switch mo pala yung electrical switch na yan, hindi pala siya certified.
Okay.
Sumabog siya. Ganun
You're
yun.
talking of switch. Let me switch on the live streaming, Miss Grace. Okay, we have greetings here from Raymond Steven Sumabat. Afternoon greetings from Cubao, Miss Grace. Scarlett Grace Meteto, Ichon. Musta po kayo, Ilocos Sur? O, kumusta raw kayo, tiga Ilocos Sur DTI? And then Scarlett Grace Ichon, shout out po sa lahat ng mga nanonood sa Kabsat Channel. Si Gina Hoven Flanders is watching. DJ John is also watching. Harleen May Sunyo, good afternoon, Ma'am Marjo and Ma'am Grace. Greetings pa lang yan, Grace. Wala pang question. But we do encourage our viewers na kayo po na agsaludsod. Please ask questions, and if you have doubts about consumer concerns, about products, business, livelihood, please shout out and we will ask our very outstanding na resource person. Siya ang queen of DTI sa Ilocos Sur.
I'm getting scared.
Okay, please proceed, Miss Grace. Ano pa yung pinaka-importante na ipaalam natin sa ating mga viewers?
Yes, Ma'am Marjo, there's still a long list. But I think I would like to add, yung isusunod ko lang, what is very popular when it comes to the function of the DTI, and that is the price and supply stabilization function. Lagi namin sinasabi, if we go to the barangays, if you have, pag meron kayong issue, pag tumaas ang presyo ng sardinas, sinong may kasalanan? Sinong tinuturo niya dyan? Siyempre sabi nila DTI.
DTI ang may kasalanan.
Parang laging DTI may
Bakit
kasalanan.
hindi niya tinignan yung presyo ng sardinas?
Yeah. Bakit? Kung halimbawa tumaas ang presyo ng bigas, sinong may kasalanan? There's still some areas.
NFA.
Dan sinasabi nila DTI, pag tumaas ang presyo ng gasolina, sabi pa rin nila DTI.
Okay.
But, by law, we have a law that already delineates what specific products are covered by specific consumer protection agency.
Okay.
So like, for example, DTI, we handle some manufactured goods like sardinas,
Canned goods.
and
Bottled.
drinks.
Water,
drink.
Yeah.
Let's just specify water.
Water, mineral water.
Water.
Okay.
Tanggalin natin
Purified
yung
water.
And then noodles. Yeah, did I say noodles? Coffee.
Manufactured.
Oil, cooking oil,
Yes.
and detergent bars.
Okay.
Ano pa? And then, meron yung mga... Those are examples. But what I would like to emphasize is that when you say gasoline, syempre, it's under the Department of Energy.
Right.
When you say agricultural commodities, that's under the Department of Agriculture.
Or fisheries.
Or fisheries. And then, kung mga medicines naman,
DOH.
syempre, DOH, Food and Drug Administration.
FDA.
But then, sometimes, because there are some agencies like, for example, FDA, DA, who else, which does not have provincial offices. So
Okay.
sometimes, nahihila yung DTI. DTI being the vice chair.
The OST, we have the OST.
No.
Hindi rin.
Hindi. No.
Okay.
DOE, they don't have any provincial office. And DTI being the vice chair of the Local Price Coordinating Council. So sometimes nahihila na lang. And we do appreciate the fact that there are some people who still considers the DTI as a power agency that wala akong mahanap na word eh. Parang
Maganda yun, power agency.
Power agency that can bring together the
Yeah.
other government agencies. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Superman ang DI.
Pwede Wonder Woman na lang.
Sige, Wonder Woman. Okay.
Okay, so we serve as the facilitator to bring the Department of Energy, the Department of Agriculture, the DENR, the FDA. We meet together and then see ano ba yung mga pressing issues. Like for example, during the time na may problema sa presyo ng live weight ng baboy and
Yes.
then yung mga limit.
Chicken.
So yeah,
And fish.
under the leadership of Governor Ryan, so we met, then pinag-usapan na yan. And maganda rin yung dahil sa DTI kasi we have the policy of the secretary na there's no wrong door policy.
Okay.
So if a person comes to the DTI and airs an issue or a concern, we from the DTI is mandated to act on it.
Be flexible.
Yeah,
Kasi-
that's flexibility.
Okay.
Because hindi naman natin alam how aware is that person coming to the office. Na hindi pala, parang nakakaawa, citizen of the Philippines coming to a government agency airing a problem. And then sasabihin mo, sorry po, hindi ho namin trabaho yan. So we don't do that at the DTI. We
Service,
entertain. We
beyond the
entertain,
mile,
yeah.
further nga kunada.
So kami na yung nag-endorse, then we follow up kung ano talaga yung...
Dito sa Ilocos Sur, ano yung mga issues sa regulatory function ng DTI? Sa mga presyo ng goods, the availability of goods, the transfer of goods.
It's more of, number one, defective. Ayun, you buy defective product.
Quality of the product.
Yeah, quality.
Okay.
And then, secondary, yung mga mataas ang presyo, of course. But there's still, despite some of the aggressive consumer advocacy of the Provincial Consumer Affairs Council, because we have that consumer net composing the different government agencies, meron pa rin yung mga nakakalusot na issue na siguro halimbawa sa pagpapalit-palit ng mga salesperson ng mga business establishments, kasi kahit na-orient mo na sila, for example, yung mga salesperson, tapos may pumalit na
Or
iba.
even the transport of goods can even affect the quality and the standard of the product.
Transport.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if it's manufactured or processed.
Yes. Currently, ngayong may pandemic, ayaw mo ng issue ng pandemic. But then again, we cannot set aside the current landscape and the current environment, my dear. So ano yung mga pressing challenges ng DTI ngayong pandemic? Or siguro nagmula last year na itong pandemya?
Siguro I would like to answer that by telling also. I would just like to be honest to our viewing public that even if as employee of the government, you are entitled to go on work from home, flexible schedule.
Yes.
Pero kami po sa DTI, kahit na Sabado at Linggo noon, during the onset of the COVID-19, pumapasok pa rin po kami. So, every day, meron yung I have to go to the office every day.
Why did you have to do that when you can work from home? Ano yung mga issues na naibabato sa'yo, Miss Grace?
Madami kasi
Yes.
yung travel restriction.
Yes.
And then DTI was given the authority to issue yung mga, what do you call that na? Yung mga pass sa mga sasakyan.
Business. Yes.
Business, yung haulers, transportation, or the logistics sector.
Okay.
Because they cannot pass through the, what do you call that na?
Checkpoints.
Without the stickers.
May mga
provided by the
requirements
DTI.
talaga from DTI.
Yes.
Yes.
And then, iba rin, if you are into the agricultural trading, meron din yung ibang agency na nag-i-issue.
Yes.
So, we have to help them. Iba rin pagka gasolinahan ka.
Yes.
So, nandyan yung DTI. Kung hindi mo kasi, if you're not available there, so, what happens if there are businessmen na nakastall yung kanilang sasakyan dyan and walang maibibigay na ano.
Alam mo, ang DTI, sila yung unsung heroes as frontliners. No? O mga kaibigan, may mga questions yata kayo dito. Basahin natin, Grace, ha? Si Scarlett, sabi niya, paano po na-avail yung tulong para sa mga maliliit na tindahan? And then, nabalitaan ko po kasi na meron kayong tulong para sa inyong livelihood program, Miss Grace. So, mga questions will jump from one concern to another. So,
Maliliit na negosyo, maliliit. If you have been affected by the
Yes.
COVID-19 pandemic, there is a program of the government, specifically the credit assistance program.
credit.
So,
mabalintay
again,
na.
if it's a credit assistance program, there's still guidelines that they have to comply with.
Of course.
Kasi wala naman tayo, hindi naman pwede sa gobyerno yan.
Ano bang business mo, madam? Sari-sari store ba? Anong livelihood? Tulong para sa inyong livelihood program?
Livelihood program.
Sino ti maka-avail iti credit?
Credit, again, number one is that those business establishments who have been affected by the COVID-19. So, sino-sino ba sila? Lahat naman naapektuhan.
Right.
But then, with the limited resources of the government, we have to prioritize. So, syempre, mga sari-sari store. But then you have to define again Hindi lang naman sari-sari. If you compare yung sari-sari store dito sa highway with that,
In the remote
upland,
barrio.
in the remote.
Okay.
So, how can you, you have to use your judgment. Diba? Dito, sa gitna, or in the lowland, you have that means of free flow, maganda yung itatraverse natin na road. But when you go there, and then there's travel restriction, saan sila kukuha ng sardinas? Saan sila kukuha ng noodles? So, yun po yung unang prioritize actually ng government. So, in 2020, there's a program of the Duterte administration through the DTI. We called it the Pondo sa Pagbabago, PPG.
Pondo sa pagbabago.
Pondo sa Pagbabago at negosyo serbisyo sa barangay. So, dalawa yon for those affected by calamities, actually. Kasi before, if you recall, Ma'am Marjo, the COVID-19 came March of
Middle of March 2020.
Middle of March 2020, and then we were caught off guard. Tapos hindi na natin alam yung kasi nga bago, no. But then prior to the COVID-19, meron nang may naka-ready na pondo ang DTI for those affected previously by calamities, disaster.
Right.
Diba, yun yung malaking problema natin before because of the climate change. So may nakalaan na siya. So nang nag-onset na yung COVID-19, lumarga na rin yung aming program for the livelihood assistance for those affected by previous calamities, and then yung COVID-19.
So you have utilized some funds from the DTI for calamities and considered COVID-19 as a calamity or emergency.
But it's because it's pandemic.
Yes.
So, number one is that you have to ensure, the government has to ensure the stability of price and supply of basic necessities.
Okay.
So,
Pero nag-increase ang prices last year, especially pork and other products, even fuel. Ang pangatog pa ba ti fuel last year?
If you recall, we have the price freeze during the pandemic.
Freeze. Yan.
Price freeze. So,
Gusto nating
na-extend
marinig
yan.
pala. Oo.
Price freeze, na-extend yan. So, when you say it's price freeze, you are not allowed to increase the price of your...
Okay.
Kasi from the source, alam naman nila yan.
Okay.
That's a very well disseminated, nationally disseminated.
It's a general guideline.
General guideline. Every business, multinational corporation would know that.
Okay.
Under the jurisdiction of the DTI, yung mga companies na we directly interact with, they ask concurrence from the DTI head office if they increase their price. So pagka naka-okay na doon sa taas, so ika-cascade naman nila dito sa baba. But then, there's always a chance na, there's tension in between, the flow of communication. So meron minsan, pag monitor namin sa baba, naka-increase na sila. But, we are very thankful actually, to our business partners, mga grocery stores dito sa Ilocos Sur, because they are very cooperative.
Good.
If we cannot show proof that there's really a valid reason supported by a document that there's an increase in the acquisition cost, they are very cooperative and they retain the suggested retail price which we are.
Siya at gayam.
Yeah, they're very cooperative.
Very cooperative. Dito, business sector tayo dito.
Yeah.
Dapat nag-greet Miss Grace niya. Shout out po ni Zuriel Sumawang, Abigail Pimienta. Good afternoon, ma'am. Jerwin Arizianga is watching. Julian Carril, good afternoon, ma'am. Paano maka-avail sa negosyo store tulong sa mga mahihirap na stores? It's still small-scale business like sari-sari store ang mga issue, ang mga concerns. And then here's also Athena Lopez. Greetings to you all po. Kabatch mo sa rato, Miss Grace, no? At St. Paul College. And Alan John Lopez, a vlog is watching. Athena Lopez again, hello classmate. And Manang Marjo, listening here at the forest, walking my dogs, can't afford to miss your program. All the way from London. Can you imagine? Jean Claude Solis is watching. Scarlett Gracie Chun, good luck po sa mga programs ninyo sa DTI. And then Raymart Sozi Masoria is watching. May question dito si Harleen May. What are your programs or efforts po in order to enhance one's productivity amidst pandemic?
One's productivity amidst pandemic,
Yes.
it would depend. What is the business? Like, for example, is it manufacturing or processing? How would you improve productivity? Do you need an equipment? Do you need a machine?
Okay.
So, because that would be one way of improving your productivity.
And DTI can support them on
Yeah,
that.
that's under the shared service facility.
Shared service facility. Okay.
But that's another side of the coin because we are
Okay.
still under the consumer side.
Yes, okay.
And I think it's about 6 o'clock.
Dapat ko magduwa oras. Saan ka nagsublikan to? Okay.
Again,
Maybe you can discuss about the shared service facility by
shared
now.
service facility, it has been a program of the DTI.
Yeah.
Since 2014, am I right? 2014, and we have so many programs already in the province of Ilocos Sur. In the entire Region 1, we have the highest number of cooperators, meaning to say we have the highest number of implementers
Okay.
who have already acquired free
Facility.
equipments, free facilities to improve their productivity.
No facility, this caters to, say, for instance, the Mesa facility in a town, it caters to all kinds of businesses,
That's
and
the-
equipment,
That's the mandate because it's called shared service. So it's open.
open.
But there's still guidelines. So it has to be a people's organization. It has to be it's a group. An
Cooperatives
association.
and
Cooperatives.
groups. Farmers
so, kailangan
groups,
people's group siya.
Consumer cooperative.
It has to follow guidelines which are very strict because we have to ensure the successful implementation. And when you say shared service facility, our the project cost ranges from 200,000 up to 1 million. And that's a big investment.
Okay.
So we have to ensure
Okay.
also that the resources of the government are effectively and efficiently utilized. Kaya our guidelines are very strict. Hindi naman como you are an organization already, you are entitled, because we have to ensure nga the profitability, the sustainability.
Exactly.
But if we believe in the project, I mean, there's strong potential to have the optimum impact, economic impact to the community. We get the LGU as our cooperator.
No, community-based, I've heard from one of your staff yung shared service facility at negosyo serbisyo sa barangay. Does it mean that you provide livelihood activities to a barangay? Anya met the requirements, anya ti ma-avail da from the shared service facility, or even up to your level between Department of Trade and Industry?
Negosyo serbisyo sa barangay, it's a different
Program.
program.
Okay.
And from the SSF.
Okay, so how can our barangays avail of this?
SSF?
Yeah, no, the negosyo serbisyo.
What do you need?
Technical, masapula, training.
Training, we can.
Training.
Yeah.
You can provide.
We can provide. But then again, it's not unlimited ang budget.
What do you mean?
Hindi yan unlimited.
Limited talaga siya.
Limited talaga siya. So,
You cannot provide all the requirements or the needs.
We have 768 barangays.
In the province.
In the province.
You cannot give. Nag-pilot kayo?
We have been running the negosyo
Yes.
serbisyo sa barangay
For how many years?
How many years? For 5 years.
5 years. And manutil na sakupan na yun dito yung programa, TDTI, in the whole province. 50%.
I don't have the data.
Okay.
I don't have the data, but if I can recall last year,
Yes.
we covered the whole municipality, the whole province.
Wow.
For the livelihood.
Wow.
And that's the starter kit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I believe so. Nakita niyo video reta.
Yeah.
Nag-provide kayo ti starter kits.
Starter kits.
Explain more about that.
What's the time now?
Disregard the time. Keep on. Dardarasentan.
Okay.
Halfway already.
The livelihood starter kit under the negosyo serbisyo sa barangay program.
Okay.
I know we weren't able to satisfy the whole population or even those qualified because we have limited funds. But
Right.
I would like to tell and report to the whole province of Ilocos Sur that last year, 2020, we were able to serve the 34 municipalities
Wow.
of Ilocos Sur, which means to say that, for example, in Sinait, we were able to provide something like 20 or 25 sari-sari store kits.
Alone in Sinayit.
Sinait. And then, the minimum is 20.
Wow, malaki.
The minimum is 20.
20,000.
No, the minimum is 20 beneficiary per municipality.
Ay, marami yun.
O, di ba?
In the amount of how much? Yung starter kit.
5,000 to 10,000.
Malaking bagay.
But, there were also some areas wherein we provided, kasi depende. Like, when you go to the upland communities, hindi naman pwede lahat ay sari-sari store. Sino nang bibili? Wala. So, some were provided.
Yung mga coffee developers or coffee
Those upland
processing
communities.
businesses.
Yung mga iba who were qualified, kasi yung program kasi namin is very, very flexible.
Okay.
Flexible. It depende kung how do you qualify. Like, we have EO70, Executive Orders, which is the whole of nation approach, na meron yung sama-sama ang different agencies, which is bringing the armed forces of the Philippines to the nation building sa mga areas. So, priority din yan. So, there were areas which were a priority also of that EO70 na ang kailangan nila ay hindi naman sari-sari store. Kasi kung lahat ay sari-sari store, wala nang bibili. So, iba, they were into livestock.
Livestock,
Yeah.
manukan.
Not manukan.
What?
Hindi
Cattle
pa-
racing? Piglet?
Cattle, you have to have like something like 15,000 per
Oh,
beneficiary. Kasi pag nagbigay ka na ng cattle ng isa, naku, magiging cattle na lahat yan.
And then, naalala ko, yung starter kit, meron kang binigay na weighing scale. I think this is one of the interventions.
Wala pa.
Wala pa. Interventions.
Kambing.
Kambing.
Baboy.
Baboy.
Ganun.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
sa mga upland kasi, mas profitable yung ganun. And then,
Dito sa atin, sa first district.
meron din. The Calesa, kasi, the Calesa
Dito sa Vegan Heritage
operator
area.
sa Vegan Heritage, one of the heaviest affected
Yeah.
because of
tourism.
tourism. And
Wala na.
that they were endorsed by Congressman D.V. Savillano.
So, ano yung intervention ni Kong Divi? Sa mga...
He endorsed it to the DTI.
Oh, and then you provided cash assistance to the kucheros. Is it?
We don't give in cash.
No cash grants. So, niya tintudyo?
In kind.
Niya kita? Ito yung rope?
No,
Wheel?
because we had consultation with them.
Yes.
And then they identified kambing.
Oh.
And some sari-sari store.
Haan nga to support, of course, the kalesa doon,
Because
tawamot din.
there's no market yet.
There's no market yet.
So,
Yeah,
it should
okay.
be an alternative livelihood.
Sari-sari store lang
Sari-sari
tayo
store and
na-identify.
kambing, yeah.
Doon nga rin sari-sari store, ito yung Lokosuran. Kambing.
Kambing, yeah.
There was a time nang hindi na iti presyo ti kalding. Tatan, with all this
Kasi
distribution.
ginatang namin TTI for that.
Tatan, so ti iwarwaras yun.
Until now.
That's a partnership with the Office of Kong Divi.
Yeah.
What else are these interventions that you have with him?
What else? Human service facilities. Because Congressman DV is endorsing some cooperators
Okay.
to be accredited for assistance under our shared service facility.
Yes.
Yeah, he is very heavy on that. Sa
Okay.
shared service facility.
Are there areas that you can identify ng kasapulan party shared service facility dito yung First District so that we can recommend or the office can recommend to DTI for funding for this year and next year? Covered you ka di amin ng areas to First District Apo Grace.
I think so.
Wow. And you don't want to extend additional support? Enough is enough? Or you still want to provide
Depends on the
support?
project. It depends on the
okay.
project.
Okay.
Kasi kung talaga naman, the project has a strong potential, why not?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's even the DTI is going to fight for it.
Right.
Yeah, we have to, kung nakikita namin na, ganda ng potential nito, wala siyang kakumpit. So
Yes.
you take advantage of that.
So that is one.
That's one.
Okay. Ano pa yung nakikita mo na areas for support ang DTI that you think the Office of Kong DV can recommend or request for funding from the DTI? If not now, perhaps in the coming year. Kasi prepare that budget din. That's why you will have the consultation meeting within this week to prepare the budget nga i-request for the First District to Opisina to Department of Trade and Industry.
Alam mo, ma'am, what I would want is,
Yes.
when it comes to the industry development in Ilocos Sur, sana Kong DV can, siya na sanang mag-spearhead. Kasi DTI lang.
Like what? Ano yung spearhead niya? Na nakikita mo na
tama ba yung word?
Kaya.
Siya na mag-spearhead. Like for example, sa salt industry.
Right.
Because it's not only the DTI na kaya namin gawin lahat. No, hindi namin kayang
no, we
gawin
have the DOST and the LGUs to
But syempre,
support the salt
I cannot command the
production.
DOST, di ba? I cannot
Yes,
command the DOST or I cannot command whoever would be the agency that we think can partner with us because they also have their own priorities.
Production is one of the major concerns sa salt industry natin. There's one in San Vicente, another one I think is in Santo Domingo. But in some other coastal areas, there's a very big chance for salt industry na yiti makita nga masapong nga ma-develop. So perhaps if not DOST alone, it can also be with the DTI and the corresponding or the appropriate local government units. So what else, Ma'am Grace? Di mabaling i-project tayo, tatanadamag kon. So, what about the Abel, which is the one province, I'm wearing a hand-woven shawl. Actually, this is a gift from Kong Vivi last Christmas. And it would be nice to fashion or to
Buti ka
wear.
pa, may regalo ka kay Kong Di.
Sige, Kong, wala daw regalo si Grace, Ang dami na niyang Abel, but kailangan pa rin to further promote our one province, one product. What do you see in the Abel industry na kailangan pang gawin ng DTI or in partnership with the Office of Kong Vivi?
Abel.
Yes, Abel. It has always been there. It's a traditional product of Ilocos Sur. But how far can we still go insofar as production, standard? It's like sorsorin ito tayong December. What about marketing? And then perhaps innovative measures to further develop the Abel cloth.
Okay. Sige. If you look at the value chain of the handloom weaving industry.
Okay.
We start with probably the source of the raw material.
The source.
The source.
Okay, yeah.
So where does a raw material sourced out?
Okay.
So it's imported, diba?
Right. Gapupay laing
It's from Manila.
outside.
It's from Manila. So
Yes.
with that gap, how are we going to address it? Madali lang. Pag may pera ka, di bumili ka, you establish a raw material bulk buying center. Di ba? Pag may working capital ka. And then after the raw material, do we have...
Cotton, actually. Adamot cotton industry tayo, hindi yung natayan, Miss Grace. That's why we are importing from Manila or perhaps from other areas of
Let's
the
tell
Philippines.
Kong Divi about it.
Okay, that is one aspect to establish a source of materials locally. Do you recommend that? That we
Locally?
should? Well,
Locally?
kasi cotton industry
Yeah,
data.
locally, it would take us how long?
That's it.
Okay. So, but then that's an opportunity.
Okay. So cotton.
Although, even if it's going to take it's a long term, then let's just put it in the plan.
Yes.
For our grandchildren, for our children.
The next generation.
So, you have the raw material supply.
Yes.
So, ano pang susunod dyan sa value chain?
What about that, di pang color? Nyawag mo rin yan. Hala nga jay thread, but jay,
I think that
how do you call that?
That would fall under the processes already.
Processing
Processes
already.
na siya.
Okay.
So, raw material.
So, raw material.
And I think side by side or in the same column, if we are talking about the level, the degree of pagka-critical niya is the human resources.
Okay.
Sino ang
Dagi agabel.
Ano mga gabel?
When dagi mulang ti pagkapuan iti source tayo. Dagi agabel importante deta.
Most important.
Ket adot na tayen. Bakit Dan Grace? Basapol agabel tameten.
So,
we go into loom weaving, so we encourage. Okay.
So, ganito.
Okay.
Meron kang magandang processes and you have the raw material.
Yeah.
But wala kang mukha.
Okay.
So, I think that would be the most critical factor that we have to address and the present generation. If we would want the Abel industry, that's how I look at it.
Yes, because if I remember it right, nung vice governor siya, meron siyang pina-approve sa SP na to further yung program na Living Treasures. Meaning, the weaving industry is dying, kunaday di. Tangamin, awang agabelen. So we provide this opportunity for the younger generation to do loom weaving. How do you see that? I had a meeting with some people in Manila and with the congressman nga i-include tayo rito iti curriculum tigbasbasan. What do you think? Is that possible?
Actually, in the office...
Practical arts or what? Home economics?
10 years ago pa, pinag-uusapan na namin
Wow.
yan. So, unang lumabas dyan, it has to be a part of the curriculum. But it's to our advantage, yung K-12. Because school children have already the opportunity to choose.
Correct.
Ano ka, nasa business module ka ba? Ikaw nasa what?
And hardly do they choose this kind.
Yeah.
Sa arts.
I don't know if it's arts
Weaving,
or craft.
craft.
Yeah, I don't know. But we have to work out with the DepEd or the
Yes.
CHED. Kasi habang pinag-usapan din namin kailangan sa primary level or sa elementary level, you should already introduce
Correct.
ways by which yung younger generation will be able to appreciate
Right.
yung handloom weaving. So, we call it the appreciation value.
Correct.
And then pagdating sa secondary, meron ka na naman intervention. Diba? How are you going to sustain yung interest, yung appreciation ng mga nasa baba? And then pagdating sa college, so there has to be whatever you call it, incentive,
Right.
i-incentivize. But that's just my personal opinion. Mag-incentivize ka. Pero meron na rin kaming
Perhaps
naisip.
require the DepEd to really to include this in the curriculum.
Require, but again, hindi, parang ang hirap kasi yung pressure mo yung tao.
Yes.
You show them the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Then the level of appreciation of our children should be diverted into crafts and arts. Tatanggi puro digitalization, digitize.
So, how can we compete with the Industry 4.0? You know, yung handloom weaving, competing, the work of the hand.
Yes.
So that's your challenge.
Perhaps it can be a competition. Or during your trade fair, or during this kanawidan, we can come up with competitions and contests on loom weaving. It's not just to showcase the product, but to earn interest of our young generation and even professionals perhaps, or the general public. Thank you for that, Ms. Grace. Kunanan to ni Raymond Steven Sumabat, uso ngayon mga plantita. Kumusta naman po ang negosyo sa pottery? You know, this go hand in hand. Sa pottery, kailangan ng mga pots for plants and all this current interest of our people. Kumusta ang negosyo sa pottery?
Is also along the hilera of nakahilera din siya sa hilera ng handloom weaving.
Yes.
It's a dying industry also.
Pottery.
Pottery, di ba? So, I think we have 2 or 3 barangays in Vigan which are into that
Pagburnayan,
livelihood.
of course. Barangay 7, I think.
Yung pagburnayan is the bornay, the jars.
Yeah. Bulala, yes. You were
The
talking...
bornay is from pagburnayan.
Yung limb weaving, may 3 kang bagay na binanggit. Yung source, yung process, and yung human resource. In the pottery,
Nandun pa lang siya sa input yun.
in the same manner, available pa ba ang raw material ng pagburnayan? What do you think? Ado pala clay tayo dito? Uno na ibosan?
I would like to inform also our viewers that the government is not sleeping on that.
Okay.
Because we have had a series of consultation already with the Office of Senator Angara, the local government unit of Vigan, then the DTI, and of course yung ating mga players, industry players.
Right.
And nakatatlong meeting na tayo, tama ba? Nakatatlong meeting na ang grupo na yan, and lahat ng mga industry key players were able to air all of their concerns.
Okay.
And kino-consolidate na yan ng office ni Senator Angara because his office is also looking into the various possibilities. Paano niya include din sa budget kung ano ang pangangailangan.
Right.
But one of the issues which came out is the dwindling source of raw material.
Right.
And even, halimbawa, meron, kanino ba yun? So, we need to buy piece of land, wherein there's a self-replenishment.
Yes.
Ayan. So, siguro, anyway, ang vegan naman is kasama siya dun sa technical working group.
That's
Looking
good.
into that.
That's good. How long will it take before everything is on the paper?
It's on the paper. Next meeting
By,
is
by
this
May.
month.
I hope you can share that to us so that we can perhaps pursue other efforts with the other national government agencies.
I really don't know what is the mechanics because we just go by the flow of what the Office of Senator Angara would schedule us. But I know they're making a study.
Okay.
And
That's good.
it's being done, I think, nationwide. Kasi parang una tong vegan una tong itong Ilocos Sur, and what they're doing here is being replicated in other.
Oh, that's good. Okay, may greeting pa dito, Miss Grace. Julie Ann Carolino. Ang dami niyang pusong binibigay sa iyo. And then, Paul Albiar. Okay, wala na yata unless may mga nakaligtaan ako. Anyway, there are other programs of the DTI that I wish you can discuss, like yung Info Caravan. You always have a yearly or an annual caravan. No? And then also e-commerce. You do encourage, I know that, our life in the new normal. There is already digitalized processes, the digital market, no? And e-commerce that the DTI is encouraging for all our citizens. No? Ano yung pinaka-major na intervention ng DTI sa e-commerce? Marami nang naibebenta online, but how is the regulation, Ms. Grace? Is there such a thing as regulation of online products being sold? Okay. Or products being sold online, I should say.
We have the existing, now which needs to be refined.
Okay.
Because we have to consider also the present landscape. No.
Okay.
Oo. It's true that e-commerce is being aggressively promoted by the DTI because every one of us, the bureaucracy of DTI, has a target. It is a part of the dashboard of every individual employee, to put businessman A, B, C, D, E, up to Z into e-commerce.
Okay.
So what are we doing? When it comes to the regulation, hindi lang naman galing sa amin. So it has to be a collaborative work na hindi lang galing ng DTI. It has to be with the ICT, DICT. Yeah.
Communications and
And then probably kung sino pa yung
transportation.
sino ba ang communications, information technology.
Okay.
Kasi there are really very big room for fraud when it comes to
Correct.
e-commerce.
Right.
And hindi lang po dapat DTI nandyan. We also have the NBI, to take a look into some violations.
So, the authorities.
The authorities, yung mga police, PNP. Hindi naman, kasi may nangyayaring, halimbawa, mga raid dyan. Ganun kalawak, the magnitude of the issues and concerns relative to the e-commerce na kailangan pang i-fine-tune ang law. Oo. But then, ang DTI is to prepare yung ating mga business sector going into e-commerce. So, kaya meron kami yung module namin or a program, we call it Kapatid Mentor Me.
Kapatid Mentor Me. KMP.
Kapatid Mentor Me program. We are on our fifth year. We are in our 5th year already, and we have graduated 7 batches.
Oh.
Yeah. And KMME is like a masteral course. Yeah. And it's run.
It's online course. An online
now
course.
it's online
But
because
you
of
used
the
to
pandemic. But before, for the first 4 years, I think classroom type.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have our mentors, our experts from each field. So, ano pinag-usapan dyan sa KNN? We talk about mindsetting. So, you have to mindset yung sarili mo to become a businessman talaga. And then we have the financial, we have the product development, marketing course, and production processes. Ang pinakamahirap dyan talaga is the financial. Accounting,
Bookkeeping.
accounting for non-accountants.
It's difficult.
It's very
Okay.
difficult.
For cooperatives even. Financial management.
Yeah, financial management. And halimbawa, isipin mo yung isang manufacturer ng suka, vinegar, doing accounting, just kahit simply bookkeeping, recording, and then marrying it with the regulations of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Taxation, call that taxation.
So dagito yung online courses are free. No, they just go to the website of Department of Trade and Industry.
No,
And then register.
They are chosen.
Oh, chosen.
They are chosen. Kasi you have to have commitment.
No, meaning if a viewer is interested, mapandiyan ti website yo, register, it's not that kind of process or registration.
It's not open to everyone.
Oh, okay.
Because the class is limited to
20.
12. 12.
12.
For the online, it's
when
12. But then prior to that, it's
Choose to be
25. Because at the end of the course, they have to defend something.
Right.
Yeah. Parang it's a business plan presentation.
Business plan presentation. And after that, do you monitor them?
Yeah, we monitor them.
Okay.
Meron na yung mga iba na kasi ang gusto ng course namin ay lalaki. You expand.
Yes.
You expand. So paano mo i-expand?
It's not just to sustain,
Not
but
just sustain,
further
but to
develop,
expand.
grow
Yeah.
the business.
Yung ilagay mo sa katapuhan ng mga pupils mo. Paano mo i-expand yung negosyo mo? Ano ang kailangan mo? Do you have the competency? So, we feed them with information. We feed them with competency. So that they will be able to navigate the world of a bigger business. Environment.
Wow. Chosen gayam niya.
Chosen yan.
Ano nga dyan interesado?
We have a criteria.
Of course.
Yeah, we have a criteria.
Okay. What are these criteria?
What are these criteria?
Dapat the business daw, of course. A commitment.
2 years or 1 year?
Registered.
They have to be registered with the DT at least 1
1 year.
Para at least maintindihan nila ano ba yung mga intricacies ng negosyo na pinagdidiscuss ng mga...
The business history.
The business history.
Right, right. Okay. So, dapat nga tag-greet ito, yapo. Onsan? Meron. Good afternoon po, mga greetings. Rifle Tenorio ni Tommy Bermudez watching po. Viva Vegan, kunana. Yesterday, we were supposed to celebrate 3 de Mayo. Yeah? So, what was the role of the DTI in furthering this festival of arts, Viva Vegan ngayon is a festival of arts, and it also kumbaga, it showcases, wag muna yung last message, it showcases the various industries in vegan. Not only abel, not only burnay, but even processed food, like our longganisa, our bagnet. So, ano yung mga ginagawa ng DTI to further all these industries amidst the pandemic?
What are we doing?
Yeah. Ang kagangis si Takil, yung sa tatirong nga ni Sakit Bagnet. Yung mga beauty ka, Miss Grace, ha? Dahil sa, yata doon sa, meron kayong programa na tiyandaan? Linawas sa tiyandaan.
We also have Diskwento Caravan.
Kwento Caravan.
Diskwento.
Discount. Okay.
No, the Diskwento Caravan.
Which
because we bring the groceries, what you need, to your barangays.
Okay.
And we do it with the LG.
Are you competing with that pantry kind of thing? Hindi naman.
The pantry is...
Kasi generosity yan.
The new.
The new.
That's generosity.
Okay.
Yung Diskwento Caravan namin is matagal na siya. Parang 10 years, more than 10 years na siya. And we go to the upland communities kasi mas mahirap ang ano doon. Magkuha ng... At saka mas mahal. You know, imagine, sardinas, you get it at 18 pesos average.
Per can.
Per can. Pagdating sa mga ano, alam mo, binibili sila ng 22
Kanina.
pesos. Di ba ang mahal-mahal?
Kanina, sardinas. Hindi mga sardinas yan. Mahal ang malunggayan.
Kasi nga,
Yan
nagriga mga kami nga iuli, di ba?
Correct.
Oh, imagine
The logistics aspect na.
from Candon or from Tagudin, iakyat mo yung sardinas, di ba, magiging 22 pesos na yung 18. But with the Diskwento Caravan, kung 18 siya dito sa Vigan, pagdating sa Cervantes, sa Quirino,
22.
it's still
25.
18. It's still 18.
Because of that,
Because it's being facilitated by the
the
DTI.
DTI. Diskwento
Diskwento Caravan.
Caravan. Okay. To first district, ang paborito eh. Diyan mula second district, ipapapa na Miss Grace. Kasi
No.
yung linawas na tiyenda, I saw you there with the governor and Apo Eric Singson. Kanon to na dito yung sa lawas na to yan.
Linawas Agenda
Yeah.
is,
He used to have that when he was governor.
It's a voluntary project with the LGU.
Okay.
So we offer it with the LGU.
Okay.
So if they don't want to have it in their locality, then we hop to another locality.
So you do invite retailers or to market
Local,
their
yes, local.
local.
We actually focus on locally manufactured. When it comes to the Linawas Agenda, it's
Yes.
the locally manufactured goods.
Okay.
So, like for example, we have honey. We have
Honey.
honey, mga sagad.
Well,
Pero yung the
handicrafts,
Diskwento
basket,
Caravan,
yeah.
the Diskwento Caravan is more of the basic commodities which we need daily to survive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish we can still discuss, no?
I told you.
Well, I told you so. 2 oras ko ma. Yeah? So, dapat may part 2 po, di ba? Ang DTI kasi ang daming sinasakupang programa, ang Department of Trade and Industry. Hindi pa natin na-discuss yung bamboo.
Yeah.
Na parati mong, you can perhaps say in a few seconds kung paano yung bamboo program ninyo sa DTI in coordination with the Office of Founding.
Okay, I'm happy to report to everyone listening to the Kabsat channel. Ang gagayam ken kakabsat, deto'y bamboo industry in the entire Philippines. It's being resurrected because of our congressman, the Honorable Deogracias Victor D. Isabelian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we can have your last message. How I wish binatikti may sa oras pa, Miss Grace, but please schedule before the rainy season comes. Agsubli ka dito sa channel. Ito'y Trabaho ken Serbisyo, okay? To discuss more. Kasi adupat timayat nagdamag ken ka, no? Adutin na industries tayo dito.
I only discussed the other half of the coin,
Yes.
which is the more of the consumer.
Yes.
Pahapiyaw lang sa
Business
industry
side.
development sa business side.
Yes.
So, to all the viewers, the listeners, the channel of Kabsat, Kabsat
I like
TV
that.
Saveliano, channel. I'm very thankful to be here, and it's fun talking to all of you and talking to Ma'am Marjo. Again, there are so many things to tell about what the DTI is doing. Siguro I would like to leave this session with a word of guarantee or to ensure na bilang isang citizen ng Pilipinas, you come to the DTI, there's no wrong door policy. Yun lang po yung iiwanan ko po sa inyo. If you need us, just message us. Yung hindi ko lang mai-ensure is yung masagot po kayo kaagad sa Facebook kasi may Facebook page din kami.
Right.
And sometimes we would like to encourage you na just leave your number and then we will call you. Kasi ang hirap po kasi nung mag-text, no? Answer the message nila. So, hindi po ganun kadali yung kwan. I mean, we might not be able to answer your query if it's relayed through our Facebook page. But we have 16 or 15 negosyo centers entire the province, which you can go there if you have an issue or concern, so that we will be able to give you a clarification or an enlightenment about anything which you would want to tell to the government. So, pagka kaharap, pupunta po kayo ng DTI, rest assured, parang kausap niyo na rin ang buong gobyerno ng Pilipinas, because that is what we're going to do. If we cannot give you what you need, we will endorse you to the proper government agency.
Okay, thank you very much, Provincial Director Grace Rapanut-La Pastora. It has always been my greatest pleasure to talk to you wherever we meet, in a conference, in a meeting, in a consultative meeting, also with our other partners like local government units. Kakabsat, tilang may saok, may sa iti DTI, iti top 10 nga na garantyaan nga performer among the national government agencies. And let us keep trusting this agency, because it will not only provide us information and even technology, but also give us livelihood as a source of for our daily needs, as well as just for economic development in our communities. Thank you, Apo DTI. Thank you very much. Kada kay amin nagdingdingya, gagbuy-buya, iti trabaho ken serbisyo, agyaman ak unay, na imbag nga rabiyo. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. God bless. I love you.